Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Today, something a little big to go on the sawmill. So, about a year and a half ago, I picked up this log, or I got this log. I guess I went to go pick it up, and it ended up being kind of an adventure. So my buddy Brent from Meridian Tree was doing a removal, and he told me about this log. And when I got there, they hadn't cut it in half yet. So I somehow convinced him it'd be a good idea to have the crane load this thing into his grapple truck, which he could then not remove from his grapple truck and bring it back here. And I somehow snaked it out of the back of that truck with a telehandler. And the fun thing about this pickup was this is one of the only times I've known an actual weight on a log, because this was picked with a crane that had a scale in it. So at the time that it was loaded into the truck, it was 11,000 pounds. So it's probably just a little bit less than that now. It's lost a little bit of water weight, but still well over 10,000 pounds. We are, I'll get a measurement on it, but I believe it's like 16 or something long, maybe a little bit over that. We're about 4 feet down here. We splayed something crazy here, and we got even more up here. So we got two kind of crotch sections. So I think this is gonna make some really nice long, like tabletop slabs. We'll have like a double crotch figure situation going on with the main crotch from the two upper limbs, and then some more crotch figure happening somewhere down in this area here. As we come along, as we come past this buttress area here, the backside of the log is pretty flat, so I think this is going to be the side I put down on the saw. There's not a whole lot of things to kind of work around or avoid. I think that's going to work out pretty nicely. There's a little bit of, we'll look at it more, but you know, there's some ripple in here, so there's going to be some curl and some figure. So if anything, it's been sitting long enough that it should have color shifted away from white and gone to more of a yellows, blues, and oranges and other colors. So that'll be interesting. And then hopefully there's a little bit of figure and interest in there. So I'm gonna get this thing over onto the saw. How much space do I got here? I think we're like 6 inches too long. That's pretty close. That's actually not too bad there. Oh. This is still not light though. Ugh. Ugh. I think you just spin it and it'll just go away. Ow, ow. Oh. Oh yeah, we got a little bit of fun stuff going on down here. Yeah, that's all curl. And we got some spalt lines. And we're starting to get some color shift, so that's good. I mean, it's good for me. I like the color shift. It's not good if you like stark white maple. Definitely not good. Yes, I'm maybe a little disappointed in this one. It's been sitting for a year and a half, and I was hoping in that time it would have color shifted more to the reds that are over there from that that limb, but it's still like very stark white and just in the early stage of discoloring. We have just a lot of grays. See, the reds are still very immature and not really all that well developed yet. So I'm kind of at this dilemma now where I could either cut it as it is and have these kind of white, stark, in my opinion, boring slabs, or I can put it back in the pile, let it sit for some amount of time, and let it actually color shift some more. So maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe I'll see you in a year. I don't know. Okay, welcome back. I've aged a little bit. The first part of that video was June 12th, 2023. Today is July 31st, 2024. We're going to walk over to the pile here. That's where I'm going right now. Walking over there, and we're going to see what this log looks like. All right, let's see. It's kind of buried back in there now. Behind all this stuff. There it is. There's the crotch end. Well, I guess we're going to have some spalting. That's for sure. Let's see. Ugh. I mean, it's got some weird growths on it now, so maybe it will be a little more colorful. I don't know. I'm not going to crawl in this little hole. So let's get this thing unburied and back over to the saw, and we'll make a couple more cuts and see if it has a little more color and life to it. There's a lot of logs in this pile. Jeez. I didn't quite realize how many logs deep we were here. Someone should like saw all these logs or something. This thing is bigger than I remember. So since I'm curious, I brought out my my shipping scale, and we're gonna see if we get an actual weight on this thing. When it was on the hook on the crane, it was 11,000 pounds. It's been sitting almost 3 years. We show some moisture loss. A year ago, we trimmed the top off and took a slab off of it. So I'm guessing that it's probably still over 10,000 pounds, which is what the scale is able to do, 10,000. But it might be really close, and I'm curious. So we're gonna set it on here and see if we even get a reading. $7.9? So I don't know, either this scale is wrong or the crane lied to me. That seems really light for this. For being 17 feet long and 4 feet in diameter. Maybe somebody should have the scale calibrated. I know a perfect calibration weight. It's me! Alright, well, I guess see if we can get it back on the saw and get it this way, the right place again. Okay, we got the log kind of where it needs to be, but it needs to go to my left a bit to nest into the carriage of the saw. So I have the telehandler in crab steering mode, which will turn all the tires in the same direction and allow me to move the load to the left. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to adjust the boom to kind of keep the log floating, but floating towards the saw head. Let's see how this looks. I think we're going to be good right here. Maybe. That's a lot of log. That's gonna clear. Okay, let's set it down. See what happens. Big money, big money, big money. Let's see what we got. I mean, this is promising. It's not as white as it was last time. That's for sure. We got some spalting. Let's get some water and let's take a look. And there's a hole. Look how big this hole is. Some garden soil and some crotch figure. Okay, all right. Ugh, busting out the good bucket today. What is this? Oh, primer from the painter. The painter left his primer here. Still kind of white. There's some spalt. A little bit of blue. This is cool. Can you see that on camera? Like the red circle things? Can I throw water 16 feet? I can. That spalting is incredible. Okay, let's see what the second cut in. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is gonna do for us. Yeah, this is better than it was last year. It was way too white last year. This is definitely not as like crazy colorful as some of the other stuff, but we got a lot of nice color sneaking in here with a lot of great spalting. And at least the area here that's still kind of light, it has transitioned more into this kind of pinkish color. And towards the outside here, we got a little bit of spalting and a little more interest. Here's our hole. These things always produce the most crazy, insane amount of figure. Look at all these little baby burl kind of things going on there. And all of this. Then we got our bar conclusion. Boop. I'm doing it. Here we go. I got some in the hole.
In the hole.
That's gross. There's some nice spalt in there. Nice color, good spalt, a lot of length. Some like figured down at the buttress too. Oh wow, this is cool. Look how the color changes right around the crotch figure. You got that orange. We got pond. We got a little koi pond. Ah, it's got a drain. It's got a drain hole. That's a cool void though. A lot of cool figure around there. Like all of this. Oh, look at all this down here. That's the cool stuff. I can't quite get down there. That last 4 feet. There's a friend from the water.
Yay, we got a friend. We have a friend. Aw, hi friend.
Let's put you in the trees. That's cool. Okay, as we're going here, I'm gonna get some sizes for you. So I guess it kind of gets wired towards the bottom there. We're at 48 down here. Through here, 41. This is 49. And then down through here, 40. 36, and then we flare out to 60. Big 60. Is this tape long enough for this? It is. It's 25 foot. 17 foot, nothing. That has some really great color. And there's some, I don't know what this is. That's weird. There's a little bit of little curl right here. Oh yeah, it's like a pruning cut. Yeah, like a giant pruning cut kind of thing. I've never seen one that big. Yeah. And this is like some kind of crazy split bark inclusion crotch thing. A little bit of crotch figure. And then giant bark inclusion. Okay, up here at the tippy top, about 55, is kind of, I think it's a narrow spot up here. It's still 48. And it's got a neck symbol of it right here. 46. 42. And we're back out here at 60. It's a lot of slab. So probably one of the more common questions is going to be how long these cuts taking. I just kind of pay attention to that this time. It looks like around 6 minutes or so, which every time I'm cutting this thing, I'm like, this thing is ridiculously huge. Like, I know it's going to be hard to convey that on camera, just how big and massive this log is and how wide and how long these slabs are, but standing here next to it, it's almost like it's unreal and it feels so fake. It doesn't feel real at all. Look at this thing. Look how big this is. This is like laughably huge. It's like the whole saw bed up. Okay, this one's really heavy. Okay, we're gonna take a look at this one right now because I can't wait. I can't wait to take the other slab off and look at them both at the same time. So I want to see this guy. Look at the color. I mean, the sheer scale and size of this thing is ridiculous, but it's not like it's a giant, super boring slab either. There's so much going on. And I feel like every single time I think I know what's going on in the slab, I walk away and I come back, I see something else I didn't see before. There's so much going on here. There's 2 pruning cuts down here, and you got all kinds of figure around where these little tiny limbs were. This massive bark inclusion, which has all kinds of stuff to look at around it. And as we come down the tree, we got the other bark inclusion from the other limb that's going that way with all of the crazy flame grain coming into that crotch. And as you work down, we have, this one has a pith in it, so you can see all the little tiny little limbs the tree had its whole life as it was kind of growing towards the sky. And then there are just bands of figure emanating from those old limbs, those old knots that are kind of like pin knots. They got these striation grain figure things going outwards. And then if you look closely every now and then, you'll find like little tiny eyeball, little eye things. And just like weird, the grain does weird things in places, like the color, the blending of the colors through here with the browns, like this like almost white band to orange. It just looks surreal right through here with the different colors as they kind of like mush together. And then there's a whole bunch of buttress figure. All kinds of compression figure down at the buttress. Right here, this thing. That's all curl. And some beautiful spalting down there too. Look at this. Look at these weird spalt lines. Here's some eyeballs. Little eyeball things. Whatever this crazy figure blob is. Figure blob. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go ahead and make the last 2 cuts, which is gonna give us 3 more slabs on top of the one that's here already, and then we'll have 2 sets of 2 to take a look at. So I got 12 minutes of sawing to go. before I make this last cut, I just wanted to share a little, like, the feeling I'm having right now. For some odd reason, I know I have cut things, you know, wider than this, but I haven't cut anything this long before. And everything I've cut before is I haven't really felt this feeling of like, this is ridiculous and incredible that this thing that I built in my driveway can cut something this big and produce a slab this size. I know it could have happened. Like, I understand. It feels very surreal right now to be like, oh yeah, this is nothing. It cut this without any sort of issue. It's weird. Anyway, that's how I'm feeling. I'm excited and baffled in a sense because they're so big. It's so there's so much wood right there. Oh man. Okay, last cut. Let's do it. Let's get these offloaded and take a look. Man, these are heavy. It's so big. Oh, that's not really balanced. Gotta go this way a little bit. The skid steer is not happy. I need a bigger bucket for this. We're on slab 8 for those keeping track. Yeah, this is crazy. Again, with the color and the scale, and there's like everywhere you look, there's something different to see, like constantly. Now that we're kind of past the pith, we got a few of those little tiny baby limbs still in here. This one's got a whole bunch of figure around it. It's a really big, beautiful pruning cut on here. As we come up to this first crotch, start to see a little bit of crotch figure surrounding our bark inclusion here. If you hop over to, I guess, this next main trunk crotch, you got a couple bullseyes. There's a bunch of figure kind of coming around through here, compression figure from this limb up here. And this bark inclusion is like whatever my arm span is. A whole mat wide. Oh, some nice spalting too. And maybe the most exciting part of the slab, it comes with a little pine tree sapling. It's so cute. You're so cute. I wonder if I can get it out of there and get it into a pot. Hopefully I can get it out of here. I'm not sure how far into there's like a little bark pocket thing that's sitting in. What's going in here? Hang on. Oh, it's like growing in there. Okay, I think it's just contained in this layer of bark. There's a little tree. Let's get this. I don't want to disturb it too much. I'm just going to bury this piece of bark. Look at us, rehoming trees. Dead trees, live trees. We got a home for every tree. Now it needs a splish splash. The tree's first splish splash. Okay, we're gonna set this guy aside for the rest of the season, and then if it makes it through the winter, we'll put it into the Arboretum. That'd be a cool story for this one. Trees with stories. Look at that thing. It's so cute. Okay, let's see what's going on with this. Oh yeah, there's something going on here. Need more water. Yeah, you guys gotta come see this. There's over like that, and then this. Whatever this is, look at all that curl through there. All that compression figure from below that giant limb there. And then this side has it all too. Look at it all. And like a circle with poof. And this, the bark inclusion with the, whatever you want to call that. We got some crotch figures sitting there. This is all figure with some baby burls. We get some more water. This is nuts. A lot more compression figure down here in the buttress. Look at this spalt. That's like super fine line, faint spalt lines. That's cool. That's very cool. Slab 9, you're very cool. You're a very cool slab, number 9. Oh, look at this. It's a weird figure. It's like a, I don't know what that, I don't even know how to describe that. It's like a glob of figure. Figure glob. We got a nice crap pocket. That's what we call it around here. Where you got like roots and things from all of the plants that were growing in this pocket of decaying matter. I always like that. It's pretty cool. And the spalt around this old limb here. And the grain on top. I don't know if you looked at this already, but look how tight those bands are. Figure monster. So for fun, we hadn't really thought about it yet, so we went back and did a little board foot calculation on some of the wider ones in there. 250 board foot per slab. That means that a modest 4 pounds per board foot, 1,000-pound slab. Yeah, the skid steer could fill every pound of it too. This one, a little bit smaller, just a little bit. Still huge, but a little smaller. Okay, on to slab 10. This looks so drab and boring. And then you hit it with some water and it reveals all this kind of crazy warm tones. Oh look, a whole bunch of metal. A lot of metal. Like a lot of metal. A lot of small metal. I don't know what that is, but it's small. Got a little old knot thing going on here with a little bit of weird stuff around it. This one's got like a double swirly bark inclusion around it. This looks like an ear. Oh wow. Look at this. Whew. That's nice. Good job, tree. Oh, that's got some really weird like staining in here with kind of crotch figure, but stained instead of figure. Oh, here's a bunch of compression figure down here too. Look at that big ripple right there. This is crazy. I think we're gonna do like a little drive-by thing this time. Oh shit! Okay. I saw it happen. Oh, cancel, abort.
It's okay.
From before, like the other one, we have all kinds of compression figure here underneath this big earlobe, and some more figure up in here from where these two kind of limbs intersect. This bark inclusion is really cool because the tree is furrowing in right here, and the outside of the tree is right beneath this bit of bark. And there is a little limb that was kind of growing outwards towards the outside through the bark right there too. Overall though, since this one was what was sitting exposed to the elements for the last 13 months, you can see we got a lot of little bug holes as things have been trying to burrow in from the other side. This is cool. This situation here. And there is some crazy swirly, like, I don't know, pearl necklace kind of thing going on down here, 2 of them. Look how deep and rich this area is here. It's surrounded by the spalt. And that one just goes up to there through this area of white. So this tree ended up being pretty ridiculous and incredible. I'm really glad that we let it sit because it's drastically different than it was last year. And now that was all the fun stuff. Now somebody has to properly stack and sticker this whole log and find somewhere to store it that'll dry nicely for the next few years without going crazy. That's the hard part, the less fun, exciting part, the less glamorous part of this whole thing. This is the glamour. Everything else is not. And just like that, through the magic of whatever this is, this log is all stacked, put away, and this is where it'll sit for at least a few years until it's ready to kind of move on from here. We are going to do a completely separate video on stacking this big thing because I did treat it a little differently than I normally do, and it was a little more of a process to actually get all these slabs put back together. So look for that in the future. A lot of this is getting this giant log into a nice flat spot because I get this question a lot too. Why bother making sure this thing's sitting on something flat? That's because these things will conform to whatever shape they're sitting on for this amount of time. We're also gonna have a video coming up soon that shows you why and what can happen if you don't do this. I had some slabs from when I moved that I just left on a couple of blocks of wood out in the field. Never got around to putting it onto something nice and flat. And those slabs picked up the twist that was in the ground. And we're gonna do a video on trying to get a significant twist out of those. So you'll see that video coming as well soon enough. So that is gonna do it for this one, the log that I waited all these years to saw, and I will wait again to dry it. So thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments on sawing giant logs, anything back on the sawmill or anything in the shop, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking. See ya.